Howdy ho, everybody. Welcome, Double M show.
Hey,
Uh,
boss.
Trying to get somebody else. Game. Oops.
You're breaking up again.
Yeah, it's my fault because
Supposed to
I
take that
didn't
mic
mute
to your face.
I didn't mute the other side, right? I need to turn my gain up, I guess. How's that?
It sounds good when you're close enough.
Okay, I'll stay close and not look to the left or to the right. Uh,
Meow.
okay, so today, get close to that mic. Um, so recently, people have been talking about the Confederacy and what it was all about, whether it was about slavery or if it was about states' rights in this sector. So we are going to clear it up just a little bit by reading the Articles of Secession by state. Um, so there'll be 13 of them. We'll be going. You're not too late. We're just starting, Joey. So we'll be flip flopping. Mrs. Metcalf. Well, I'll read one. Mrs. Metcalf will read one, and hopefully Angel will come up and read some. Um,
Yeah, she
anyway,
hasn't
let's
answered me yet.
let's get her going. Um, what's up, Mister Rican Joey? Freedom fighter, nomad, of course, Mrs. Metcalf. Um, Lola's came in here. Hopefully, she's back. Um, and Mrs. Metcalf was first. So, oh, I can do this. Let's see if this covers up the. Somebody type test in the comments. Okay, it's there. Awesome. The comments are there. All right, we'll start. We're going to start with South Carolina. This is from uh, American Battlefield Trust, uh, Secession Acts of the 13 Confederate States. And you can see them there: Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas. I guess those were the, Virginia, Virginia. Okay, South Carolina. An ordinance to dissolve the union between the state of South Carolina and other states united with her under the compact entitled the Constitution of the United States of America. We, the people of the state of South Carolina, in convention assembled, do declare and ordain, and it is hereby declared and ordained that the ordinance adopted by us in convention on the 23rd day of May in the year of our Lord 1788, whereby the Constitution of the United States was ratified, and also all acts and parts of acts of the General Assembly of this state ratifying amendments of the said Constitution are hereby repealed, and that union now subsisting between South Carolina and other states under the name United States of America is hereby dissolved. Done at Charleston, the 20th day of December in that year of our Lord, 1860. Okay, so that was one of the ones that wasn't about the unique institution. So Yeah, these people were really into run-on sentences. Truly, truly,
Lots of
Lola,
commas.
truly. What is that?
They like commas.
Yeah. All right. Mrs. Metcalf, hit us with Mississippi.
Mississippi. An ordinance to dissolve the union between the state of Mississippi and other states united with her under the compact entitled the Constitution of the United States of America. The people of the state of Mississippi, in convention assembled, do ordain and declare, and it is hereby ordained and declared as follows to wit. Section 1. That all laws and ordinances by which said state of Mississippi became a member of the Federal Union of the United States of America be, and the same are hereby repealed, and that all obligations on the part of the state or the people thereof to observe the same be withdrawn, and that the said state doth hereby resume all rights, functions, and powers by which any of said states or ordinances were conveyed to the government of the said United States, and is absolved from all the obligations, restraints, and duties incurred to said federal union, and shall from henceforth be a free, sovereign, and independent state. Oh, you gave me a big one. Section 2.
Giggity.
That's so much of the
Giggity.
first section of the 7th article of the Constitution of this state as requires members of the legislature and all officers, executive and judicial, to take an oath or affirmation to support the Constitution of the United States be, and the same is hereby abrogated and annulled. Section 3. That all rights acquired and vested under the Constitution of the United States or under any act of Congress passed or treaty made in pursuance thereof or under any law of this state and not incompatible with this ordinance shall remain in force and have the same effect as if the ordinance had not been passed. Section 4. That the people of the state of Mississippi hereby consent to form a federal union with such of the states as may have seceded or may secede from the Union of the United States of America upon the basis of the present Constitution of said United States, except such parts thereof as embrace or other portions than such seceding states. Thus ordained and declared in convention the 9th day of January in the year of our Lord, 1861. Hey, Angel
Okay,
Gamer's
catch
here.
your breath.
Angel Gamer's here.
Catch your... Oh, where? I don't see.
She's in Discord. You want me? Can I just give her the StreamYard link?
Yeah, I sent it to her.
All right.
What's up? How are you
Hey,
doing?
I'm good.
Sweet.
Good. Home, Alabama. What's up, John Golden? Is a requirement? Yeah, it's very painful to say the least. Okay, here's Florida Ordinance of Secession. You want to hit that one, Angel? You're muted.
Yeah. We, the people of the state of Florida, in convention assembled, do solemnly ordain, publish, and declare that the state of Florida hereby withdraws herself from the Confederacy of States existing under the name of the United States of America and from the existing government of the said states. And all that political connection between her and the government of said states ought to be, and the same is hereby totally and says Union of States dissolved. And the state of Florida is hereby declared a sovereign and independent nation, and that all ordinances is heretofore adopted, insofar as they create or recognize said union, are rescinded, and all laws or parts of laws in force in this state, insofar as they recognize or assent to said union, be, and they are hereby.
Oh, sorry.
Caught him unawares.
Hereby be,
Hereby
and the same is hereby totally annulled, and said union of states dissolved. The state of Florida is hereby declared a sovereign and independent nation, and that all ordinances heretofore adopted, insofar as they create or recognize said union, are rescinded, and all laws or parts of laws in force in the state, in so far as they recognize or assent to said union, be, and they are hereby repealed. Passed 10th of January, 1861.
Henry. Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. An ordinance to dissolve the union between the state of Alabama and the other states united under the compact styled the Constitution of the United States of America. Whereas the election of Abraham Lincoln and Hannibal Hamlin to the offices of President and Vice President of the United States of America by a sectional party avowed hostile to the domestic institutions and to the peace and security of the people of the state of Alabama, preceded by many and dangerous infractions of the Constitution of the United States by many of the states and people of the northern section, is a political wrong of so insulting and menacing of character as to justify the people of the state of Alabama in the adoption of prompt and decided measures for their future peace and security. Therefore, be it declared and ordained by the people of the state of Alabama in convention assembled that the state of Alabama now withdraws and is hereby withdrawn from the Union as the United States, known as the United States of America, and henceforth ceases to be one of the said United States and of right ought to be a sovereign and independent state. Be it further declared and ordained by the people of the state of Alabama in convention assembled that all powers over territory of said state and over the people thereof, heretofore delegated but to the government of the United States of America, be and they are hereby withdrawn from said government and hereby resumed and vested in the people of the state of Alabama. And as it is it and as it is the desire and purpose of the people of Alabama to meet the slaveholding states of the South, who may approve such purpose in order to frame a provisional as well as permanent government upon the principles of the Constitution of the United States. Be it resolved by the people of Alabama in convention assembled that the people of the states of Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Missouri be and are hereby invited to meet the people of the state of Alabama by their delegates in convention on the 4th day of February, Anno Domini 1861, at the city of Montgomery in the state of Alabama for the purpose of consulting with each other as to the most effectual mode of securing concerted and harmonious action in whatever measure may be deemed most desirable for our common peace and security. And be it further resolved that the president of this convention be and is hereby instructed to transmit forthwith a copy of the foregoing preamble ordinance and resolutions to the governors of the several states named in said resolutions, done by the people of the state of Alabama in convention assembled at Montgomery on this, the 11th day of January, AD 1861. So this is the first of the four that has mentioned slavery. I just wanted to point that out. Mrs. Metcalf,
The
look at
Peach
Georgia.
State.
Yes.
We, the people of the state of Georgia, in convention assembled, do declare and ordain, and it is hereby declared and ordained, that the ordinance adopted by the state of Georgia in convention on the second day of Jani in the year of our Lord, 1788, whereby the Constitution of the United States of America was assented to, ratified, and adopted, and also all acts and parts of acts of the General Assembly of this state, ratifying and adopting amendments to said Constitution, are hereby repealed, rescinded, and abrogated. We do further declare and ordain that the union now existing between the state of Georgia and other states under the name of the United States of America is hereby dissolved, and that the state of Georgia is in full possession and exercise all of the rights of sovereignty which belong and appertain to a free and independent state. Passed January 9th, 1861.
So I do want to say that even though Georgia became a slaveholding state, Georgia was actually founded upon the principles of non-slave holders. The Scots and Irish came here to get away from slavery, so it was founded against.
Yeah, and then my cousins, the Cherokee, had to join in it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's up, Chris? All right, Louisiana, Mrs. Gamer.
An ordinance to dissolve the union between the state of Louisiana and other states united with her under the compact entitled the Constitution of the United States of America. We, the people of the state of Louisiana, in convention assembled, do declare and ordain, and it is hereby declared and ordained that the ordinance passed by us in convention on the 22nd day of November in the year 1811, whereby the Constitution of the United States of America and the amendments of the said Constitution were adopted, and all laws and ordinances by which the state of Louisiana became a member of the federal union be and the same are hereby repealed and abrogated, and that the union now subsisting between Louisiana and other states under the name of the United States of America is hereby dissolved. We do further declare and ordain that all rights acquired and vested under the Constitution of the United States or any act of Congress or treaty or under any law of the state, and not incompatible with this ordinance, shall remain in force and have the same effect as if this ordinance had not been passed. Adopted in convention at Baton Rouge this 26th day of January, 1861.
That's Baton Rouge. All right, Texas. An ordinance to dissolve the union between the state of Texas and the other states under the compact styled the Constitution of the United States of America. Whereas the federal government has failed to accomplish the purposes of the compact of union between these states in giving protection either to the persons of our people upon an exposed frontier or to the property of our citizens. And whereas the action of the northern states of the union is violative of the compact between the states and the guarantees of the Constitution. And whereas the recent developments in federal affairs make it evident that the power of the federal government is sought to be made a weapon with which to break down the interests of property of the people of Texas and her sister slaveholding states, instead of permitting it to be as was intended, or shield against outrage and aggression, therefore. So they're afraid of the slaves, is pretty much what they're saying. They can't keep them down. Section 1. We, the people of the state of Texas, by delegates in convention assembled, do declare and ordain that the ordinance adopted by our convention of delegates on the 4th day of July, A.D. 1845, and afterwards ratified by us under the Republic of Texas, was admitted into the Union with the other states and became a party to the compact styled the Constitution of the United States of America, be and is hereby repealed and annulled, that all the powers which by the said compact were delegated by Texas to the federal government are revoked and resumed, that Texas is of right absolved from all restraints and obligations incurred by said compact, and is a separate sovereign state, and that her citizens and the people are absolved from all allegiance to the United States or the government thereof. The ordinance shall be submitted of the people of Texas for their ratification or rejection by the qualified voters on the 23rd day of February, 1861, and unless rejected by a majority of the votes cast, shall take effect and be in force on and after the second day of March, 1861, provided that in the representative district of El Paso, said election may be held on the 18th day of February, 1861, done by the people of the state of Texas in the convention assembled at Austin this first day of February, 1861, ratified 23 February, 1861, by a vote of 46,153 for and 14,747 against. Mrs. Metcalf.
Virginia. An ordinance to repeal the ratification of the Constitution of the United States of America by the state of Virginia and to resume all rights and powers granted under said Constitution. The people of Virginia, in their ratification of the Constitution of the United States of America, adopted by them in convention on the 25th day of June, in the year of our Lord, 1788, have declared that the powers granted under said Constitution were derived from the people of the United States and might be resumed whensoever the same should be perverted to their injury and oppression. And the federal government, having perverted said powers, not only to the injury of the people, scroll be great. And you're muted.
Sorry about that.
Of the people of Virginia, but to the oppression of the southern slaveholding states. Now, therefore, we, the people of Virginia, do declare and ordain that the ordinance adopted by the people of this state in convention on the 25th day of June in the year of our Lord, 1788, whereby the Constitution of the United States of America was ratified, and all acts of the General Assembly of this state ratifying and adopting amendments to said Constitution are hereby repealed and abrogated, that the union between the state of Virginia and the other states under the Constitution aforesaid is hereby dissolved, and that the state of Virginia is in full possession and exercise all of the rights of sovereignty which belong and appertain to a free and independent state. And they further declare that said Constitution of the United States of America is no longer binding on any of the citizens of this state. This ordinance shall take effect and be an act of this day, when ratified by a majority of the vote of the people of this state, cast at a poll to be taken thereon on the fourth Thursday in May next, in pursuance of a schedule hereafter to be enacted. Adopted by the Convention of Virginia, April 17th, 1861. Ratified by a vote of 132,201 to 37,451 on 23 May 1861.
Arkansas. An ordinance to dissolve the union now existing between the state of Arkansas and the other states united with her under the. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. Under the compact entitled the Constitution of the United States of America. Whereas, in addition to the well-founded causes of complaint set forth by this convention and resolutions adopted on the 11th of March, 1861, against the sectional party now in power in Washington City, headed by Abraham Lincoln, he has, in the face of resolutions passed by this convention, pledging the state of Arkansas to resist to the last extremity any attempt on the part of such power to coerce any state that has seceded from the old Union, proclaimed to the world that war should be waged against such states until they should be compelled to submit to their rule. And large forces to accomplish this have by this same power been called out, and are now being marshaled to carry out this inhuman design. And to longer submit to such rule or remain in the old Union of the United States would be disgraceful and ruinous to the state of Arkansas. Therefore, we, the people of the state of Arkansas, in convention assembled, do hereby declare and ordain, and it is hereby declared and ordained, that the ordinance and acceptance of compact passed and approved by the General Assembly of the state of Arkansas on the 18th day of October, 1836, whereby it was by said General Assembly ordained that by virtue of the authority vested in said General Assembly by the provisions of the ordinance adopted by the Convention of Delegates assembled at Little Rock for the purpose of forming a constitution and system of government for said state, the proposition set forth in an act supplementary to an act entitled, an act for the admission of the state of Arkansas into the Union, and to provide for the due execution of the laws of the United States within the same, and for other purposes, were freely accepted, ratified, and irrevocably confirmed. Articles of. You scroll me. Compact and union
Articles.
between the state of Arkansas and the United States, and all other laws and every other law and ordinance whereby the state of Arkansas became a member of the federal union, be and the same are hereby, in all respects and for every purpose, herewith, consistent, repealed, abrogated, and fully set aside, and the union now subsisting between the state of Arkansas and the other states under the name of the United States of America is hereby forever dissolved. And we do further hereby declare and ordain that the state of Arkansas hereby resumes to herself all rights and powers heretofore delegated to the government of the United States of America, that her citizens are absolved from all allegiance to said government of the United States, and that she is in full possession and exercise of all the rights and sovereignty which appertain to a free and independent state. We do further ordain and declare that all rights acquired and vested under the Constitution of the United States of America, or of any act or acts of Congress or treaty, or under any law of the state and not incompatible with the ordinance, shall remain in full force and effect, in no wise altered or impaired, and have the same effect as if the ordinance had not been passed. Adopted and passed in open convention on the 6th day of May, 1861.
Arkansas was very verbose.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Hate? North Carolina. An ordinance to dissolve the union between the state of North Carolina and the other states united with her under the compact of government entitled the Constitution of the United States. We, the people of the state of North Carolina, in convention assembled, do declare, and now I can't help but laugh every time I see that because Lola was like, all the states do declare and ordain, and it is hereby declared and ordained that the ordinance adopted by the state of North Carolina in the convention of 1789, whereby the Constitution of the United States was ratified and adopted, and also all acts and parts of acts of the General Assembly ratifying and adopting amendments to the said Constitution are hereby repealed, rescinded, and abrogated. We do further declare and ordain that the Union now subsisting between the state of North Carolina and the other states under the title of the United States of America is hereby dissolved, and that the state of North Carolina is in full possession and exercise of all rights of sovereignty which belong and appertain to a free and independent state. Done in convention at the city of Raleigh this 20th day of May in the year of our Lord, 1861, and in the 85th year of the independent state. The independence of the said state.
Hey, Nomad.
Tennessee. Nomad.
Tennessee. Declaration of Independence and Ordinance dissolving the federal relations between the state of Tennessee and the United States of America. First, we, the people of the state of Tennessee, waiving any expression of opinion as to the abstract doctrine of secession, but asserting the right as a free and independent people to alter, reform, or abolish our form of government in such manner as we think proper, do ordain and declare that all the laws and ordinances by which the state of Tennessee became a member of the federal scroll. Oh, now I got to find myself again. Government to. Where did I go? And that all the rights and functions and powers which by any of said laws and ordinances were conveyed to the government of the United States, and to absolve ourselves from all the obligations, restraints, and duties incurred thereto, and to hereby henceforth become a free, sovereign, and independent state. Second, we further declare and ordain that Article 10, Sections 1 and 2 of the Constitution of the State of Tennessee, which requires members of the General Assembly and all officers, civil and military, to take an oath to support the Constitution of the United States be, and the same are hereby abrogated and annulled, and all parts of the Constitution of the State of Tennessee making citizenship of the United States a qualification for office, and recognizing the Constitution of the United States as the supreme law of the state, are in like manner abrogated and annulled. Third, we further ordain and declare that all rights acquired and vested under the Constitution of the United States, or under any act of Congress passed in pursuance thereof, or under any laws of this state, and not incompatible with this ordinance, shall remain in force and have the same effect as if this ordinance had not been passed. Sent to referendum 6 May 1861 by the legislature and approved by the voters by a vote of 104,471 to 47,183 on 8 June 1861.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Jinx.
Yes.
An act declaring the political ties heretofore existing between the state of Missouri and the United States of America dissolved. Whereas the government of the United States, in the possession and under the control of a sectional party, has wantonly violated the compact originally made between said government and the state of Missouri, by invading with hostile armies the soil of the state, attacking and making prisoners the militia, while legally assembled under the state laws, forcibly occupying the state capital, and attempting, through the instrumentality of domestic traitors, to usurp the state government, seizing and destroying private property, and murdering with fiendish malignity peaceable citizens, men, women, and children, together with other acts of atrocity, indicating a deep settled hostility toward the people of Missouri and their institutions. And whereas the present administration of the government of the United States has utterly ignored the Constitution, subverted the government as constructed and intended by its makers, and established a despotic and arbitrary power instead thereof. Now, therefore, be it enacted by the General Assembly of the State of Missouri that all political ties of every charter new existing between the government of the United States of America and the people of the government of the State of Missouri are hereby dissolved, and the State of Missouri, resuming the sovereignty granted by compact to the said United States, upon admission of said state into the federal union, does again take its place as a free and independent republic amongst the nations of the earth. This act to take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. Approved October 31st, 1861, this act was passed by a rump legislature called into session in Neosho, Missouri by Governor C.F. Jackson, who had been removed from office by the state convention.
What's up, Mr. Caruso? Kentucky. Whereas the federal Constitution, which created the government of the United States, was declared by the framers thereof to be the supreme law of the land, and was intended to limit, and did expressly limit, the powers of said government to certain general specified purposes, and did expressly reserve the states and people all other powers whatever, and the president and Congress have treated this supreme law of the Union with contempt, and usurped to themselves the power to interfere with the rights and liberties of the states and the people against the express provisions of the Constitution, and have thus substituted for the highest forms of national liberty and constitutional government a central despotism founded upon the ignorant prejudices of the masses of northern society. And instead of giving protection with the Constitution of the people of 15 states of the Union, have turned loose upon them the unrestrained and raging passions of mob and fanatics. And because we now seek to hold our liberties, our property, our homes, and our families under the protection of the reserved powers of the states, have blockaded our ports, invaded our soil, and waged war upon our people for the purpose of subjugating us to their will. And whereas our honor and our duty to posterity demand that we shall not relinquish our own liberty, and shall not abandon the right of our descendants and the world to be inestimable beings of constitutional government. Therefore, good God. That was a quite the lengthy narrative. Therefore, be it ordained that we do hereby forever sever our connection with the government of the United States, and in the name of the people, we do hereby declare Kentucky to be a free and independent state, clothed with all power to fix her own destiny and secure her own rights and liberties. And whereas the majority of the legislature of Kentucky have violated their most solemn pledges made before the election and deceived and betrayed the people, have abandoned the position of neutrality assumed by themselves and the people, and invited to the state the organized armies of Lincoln, have abdicated the government in favor of military despotism, which they have placed around themselves but cannot control, and abandoned the duty of shielding the citizen with their protection, have thrown upon our people and the state of the horrors and ravages of war instead of attempting to preserve the peace, and have voted men and money for war waged for by the North for our destruction of our constitutional rights, have violated the expressed words of the consideration by borrowing 5 millions of money for the support of the war without vote of the people, have permitted the arrest and imprisonment of our citizens, and transferred the constitutional prerogatives of the executive to a military commission of partisans, have seen the writ of habeas corpus suspended without an effort for its preservation, and permitted our people to be driven in exile from their homes, have subjected our property to confiscations and our persons to confinement in the penitentiary as felons, because we may choose to in a take part in a cause for civil liberty and constitutional government against a sectional majority, waging war against the people and institutions of 15 independent states of the old federal union, and have done all these things deliberately against the warnings and vetoes of the governor and the solemn remonstrant remonstrances of the majority in the Senate and House of Representatives. Therefore, be it further ordained that the unconstitutional edicts of a factious majority of a legislator, thus false to their pledges, their honor, and their interests, are not law, and that a government is unworthy of the support of a brave and free people, and that we do therefore declare that the people are thereby absolved from all allegiance to said government, and that they have a right to establish any government which to them may seem best adapted to the preservation of their rights and liberties. Adopted 20 November 1861 by a convention of the people of Kentucky. What's up, OMC? So, double M's, Angel, thoughts, comments? I have a few, but I'll save them till after we have some discussion.
One of the things that would be interesting for people to read, if they are interested in this topic, is the actual state constitutions, because Mississippi actually has something about protecting slavery in their state constitution.
Right. They kind of, them in Florida kind of, and Georgia kind of hid a little bit. But when the other states are so militant about protecting their rights, it was the right to own slaves and the right to maintain slaves as their property. And I forget which one it was that said uh, said that it was inhumane to the people of their state to take their slaves. I'm like, it it just kind of hit me some kind of
Yeah.
way, you know. So,
Well, yeah,
Just
they were going to do anything they could to protect uh, their corporate way of life.
right, right, and it was the industry, um, and the North was not innocent in it because they were buying the products coming out of the
Yep.
South. Um, so, and then it was fear mongering, you know, to the poor whites that hey, they're gonna make you the slaves, which today, you know, you have many like the Koch brothers who have written extensively saying that uh, that workers need to be slaves and should be allowed to be held as slaves.
Wasn't there something along the line of if the slaves were freed, they would eat their babies or something like that? Some
Well, yeah, I
ridiculousness.
mean there was definitely the othering, right, and the stories of uh, raping and pillaging by the. Remember, you had the when was the Civil War? The Haitian slave uprising was the only
Yeah.
successful um,
mhm.
uprising of slaves. 1775.
And if I remember correctly, there was a little bit of discrimination going on in the South because I believe Jews were not allowed to fight for the South.
Yeah, there was a lot of Jewish.
So sorry, Coded, but you're wrong. Ah,
Well, since my great grandmother, uh, great great grandmother came over here from Russia in the late 1800s and was a victim of the pogroms. You're wrong. Since my family was slaves, Irish Scotch slaves, uh, that's impossible. I will note, sadly, that one side of my family did own slaves, and their wills are disgusting. Um, one recent relative that was Jewish. Keep keep smoking that crack, Coded. All right, that's all I'm gonna address of him. Um, anybody in the chat have questions? Well, I mean, you want to talk about bootleggers? We can talk about the Whiskey Rebellion, where Washington actually led soldiers against U.S. citizens because they wouldn't pay their taxes, which was kind of funny. History written by the victors. Yeah, and then when will this be on the final exam? Always, Lola, always.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, technically, you could. I said I wasn't going to address him, but Oops. Um, Technically, you can say that since it's right next door when I'm in the country. So, you know, it's close, and I do cook for her and help her out
But
when I'm here.
technically, you don't live with her.
Yes,
You hang
yes,
out with her.
yeah,
So coded
exactly.
is again wrong.
And what's wrong
Always,
with
always.
hanging out with your grandma? I wish I could still hang
Right.
out with my grandma.
I know. But for him to accuse Greg of faking it when he's a fake Christian, nothing but a Jesus hater,
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think that must be uh why
I
he's
think he's
being like.
jealous of you because of your strength in your faith.
Well, I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard to be that way. I mean, I as long as he doesn't hit my meth. Only a quarter meth though. Uh, So anyway, I just thought about that. The unique institutions that they always wanted to talk about. Yeah, again, it was state coded. I make lots of money. What are you talking about? I
Oh,
do very
look at
well for myself.
Coded's Jammy is here. His
Oh,
his
what's
mama
up, Cody?
mama wife showed up in chat.
And we now have proof that Janie was a word before.
Yes.
Hmm. It's short for January.
Yeah, I immediately thought of Spartan when I saw that.
Hmm.
where are you, Spartan?
Well, Todd was saying yesterday that I'm trying to be all a Zoomer and everything because I say Janie. Like I have Zoomer kids. I mean, I say things.
Picking it up from the youngsters.
How much pot do you smoke a day, Coded? I mean,
I don't know. I somehow think pot's too good for Coded. I think he's down in coke and aspirin in large quantities. It's the only way he can.
I, I tell you, the only medication I've ever needed was Motrin. So
Was what?
that's a Motrin. I'm
That's some good
I
stuff.
need it. Yeah, it is. Ranger
I'm
King.
allergic.
You are?
Hmm.
Oh man.
I have to take a leave instead, or aspirin.
Yeah, the state, all the elected officials. That's why Kentucky was saying that the legislature and Senate um, Senate were voting against what the governor and the I guess they're secessionist um, Congress was doing.
Hey, Coded. Greggy may have fat chicks sweeping for him, but you got your mom. You live with your mom, you man child. Little Coded never grew up. Can't even keep a wife.
Go park the car, bro. Uh, for shame on you. So what? I mean, what's wrong with being comfortable in your skin?
Yeah,
Hey, my buddy, what you doing
Aw,
here?
I have no
Oh, oh,
problem
oh.
with myself.
Fanny.
Except for my health. So Coded, if it's threatening to you, that I can talk honestly about myself. Oh, you poor baby.
3 left till Greggy, the little Greggy. Oh, okay. Oh, Johnny boy, thank you very much. I do appreciate those
Thank you, Johnny.
Oh
memberships.
yeah.
I need to see. Did they go out? Oh yeah.
Burns got it.
Lola, Wally. Hey Wally, how you doing, bud? Good for you. Lazy Jedi. I like a lazy
Oh,
Jedi.
hey, lazy
That's,
Jedi.
that's cool.
Thanks for stopping in.
Purple butterfly and Lord Chopper. Get me through the chopper. Hey, Epiphanies.
I don't know, Nelson. I think Pornhub turned coded down. That's why he can't hack it in real life.
He tried to hack Pornhub?
Okay, so I'm
I
old.
think. Well,
Hey, Coded, like I said to you yesterday, Ned's got a whole library of titties that he can motorboat. You got your hand. How's it holding up, buddy?
yeah. I mean, I'm not restricted to that.
Keep reading those old issues of highlights.
Okay.
I would
He can
think
only
more
get
like
bandit.
large print Reader's Digest or something.
I think that's too smart for him.
Could be.
That's where Reagan got almost all of his pithy quotes as Reader's Digest. They were never
That's
original.
good source material.
He wanders off for the boys.
You can't even get boys Coded. No one wants you. That's why you live at home with your mother.
Delivered by pigeons. Oh man. They're delivered by African swallows.
We were just reading what the states based their wanting to secede from.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, I was just.
All right, Tiffany.
All right, Tiff.
I'm sorry. He's just so easy to play with.
Yeah. Are we trying to glorify the expansion of the city? No. I mean, I thought I was very clear about this is to prove the fact that the states were mad about ending slavery and that their secessionist papers were, for the most part, clear about it. I mean, I was just reading the secession papers, Chris. I mean, if you want to do that history, man. This was just something that popped in my head, and now we're just bullshitting. I mean, we can talk about the theft of the whole country if you want to.
I'm in for that.
Spinal Tap. Oh. Mr. Muntz, will you be husband?
Who is manless in Manila?
It must be somebody, a socket for Coded's wife.
Oh, gotcha. Enough socks in here to keep our feet warm in the winter.
Yeah, there's a lot of socks.
I'm enjoying
Well,
it though. I mean, the traffic is nice.
I mean, let's go back to Columbus. I mean,
Oh,
I believe some native um, countries would disagree. Not countries, but
some
tribes.
islands maybe like the Taiano.
Yeah, the town that don't exist anymore. Or I guess they
Well, they
exist in a
do, but
mix.
only in they exist, but only in watered down bloodlines now. But there's
Yeah,
still pockets of them that can trace back. But yeah, my two favorite topics are
yeah,
Columbus and Pocahontas.
right. Columbus is a fascinating story. Uh, if
Yeah, with all the
that
PDF accusations going around, he supported that among his men.
right. Well, um, that show Behind the Bastards did a three-parter on him. We could do that. We could play that.
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
It's really good.
in his diary, he mentioned that his men preferred the 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was so many things in his diary that people. I guess people who want to know the truth on history and not what you learned in school. You get kind of surprised and disappointed in the people you were taught to idolize. And then
And as
I
far as
know your family would have told you um, the truth, right? As it was understood. Right.
the East Coast not being stolen, I believe my people would have something to say about that.
Right. That's
Mhm.
what I was saying. So, I was looking up. 1791 was the Haitian Revolution, and it was so that was right when Napoleonic Wars were going on. So Napoleon trying to hold an island on the other, you know.
All right, Anthony, take care. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, see you, Anthony.
See ya.
Yeah, the Dutch are some good folks, but
Make good
they did a
pancakes.
little they did a little bit of the expansionist uh, colonization.
Oh boy, did they big time.
Yeah,
Because that was another part of my
rubber.
family was Dutch.
Good grief, woman.
Oh, well, a lot of people know all about the Mayflower, but what they don't know is there was another ship that was sailing with the Mayflower called the Speedwell. My family was on that boat, but the the uh, the crew didn't like how they were being paid, and all those boats were wooden and had cloth and craps stuffed in between so the boat would leak, so they'd have to turn around. They went back, and I think it was the second or third time they had to go around back to the boat was leaking again. That the merchant that was sponsoring these two boats said, "Screw it, you guys are drawing lots, and only the Mayflower's going." And my family lost out. They didn't get the good stick, so my
Oh
family
man,
had to stay back. So they went on the Mayflower too.
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, you just because there's Judaism, we're all made up of different people from all over
Yes.
the world. So
And my people did not come over on the Bering Land Bridge.
Hmm.
Yes, I had
That
to.
has been
I had.
so debunked.
Yeah.
I hadn't studied that in decades because I thought it was, something that was established, so I never had any reason to doubt it.
Well, the archaeologists like to, make up what fits for them when they discover something,
Oh
and
yeah,
then decades later, oh look, we found this skeleton, and it's before the Bering Land Bridge. Oh, there were people here. I'm like, dude, Mohawk winter counts go back over 40,000 years. Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Well, yeah, I knew that those counts went back that far. I didn't really think about it being something different than the bridge, but I guess it would have had to have been.
I mean, I'm not saying that no one came over from somewhere else. That obviously did happen. And a lot of uh,
Well, Lee,
Scandinavian visitation.
right? Yeah,
Everybody knows the
yeah. I
story
watched a
of,
few documentaries on that.
oh
Yeah,
hell, what's his name?
Leaf or
Leif Erikson.
or
I
was
was
it
Eric,
just
Eric the Red.
I was thinking of Adam Beach played him. It was a Disney movie. The Indian that knew English because he had been captured and then came back. And then he surprised other European explorers because who came here because he knew English. Dang it! What's the name of that Disney?
How old is it?
Uh, um, Here, let me look it up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Squanto.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Squanto with that hottie Adam Beach in it.
Hmm.
Didn't know there was one with Tim in it. That's pretty good.
What was
I
that?
like him.
You dropped off
I,
again.
oh, I'm sorry. I like Adam Beach. I didn't know that there was one with him as Squanto.
Yes.
Olaf the Bloody. Or Ragnar, the one they had to carry around on a shield because of his legs.
Oh, that was Ivar the Boneless.
Yeah, yeah.
Ragnar's son.
Ivar the Boneless. Was he a spineless jellyfish?
Yeah.
Was he
Kinda.
tall?
His legs didn't work, so he crawled on his belly.
Crawled on his belly or was carried.
Yeah.
Well,
Chris,
regale us with your knowledge, Coded.
Chris, peace pipe guy's name? Are you talking about the current holder of the pipe? Because that's Chief Arvel Looking Horse.
Oh, that's cool. Hey.
Oh, I don't know who that is because we didn't have weed here. It's not indigenous. It's not an indigenous plant here.
No, but you had
South America, though.
You had the good stuff in cacti.
Oh, okay. No, Coded. I got so fat because of bad medical advice. And unlike you, I can lose the weight. You can't lose. You're ugly.
Coded. What college degrees do you have, sir? I'll wait. Let's see. Great grandson of Leif Erikson. Cool.
what do you want to talk about then, Lola? If you're tired, if we're boring you.
No, I think she's bored by coded, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, coded, that's true for you too with that fat head of yours.
Sometimes it actually is too. Like, I mean, I have a tumor on my pituitary gland, so. You have a degree in finance and philosophy?
You told me
You're good,
one
Lola.
day that you didn't have any degrees and going to college was for losers. So what lie is it? You don't lie, right? Inauthentic. Yeah.
Pencil wiener.
Paul Houghton. That's who Chris is.
Was that
Oh.
Pocahontas's dad?
Yeah, I think
What a-
D-Doc is his daddy, real daddy.
I don't know if we kept him in line, Calf, but we definitely livened it up, though.
Yeah. You're a liar. You definitely said it. Check this out.
You know, for coded with all his Bible study and stuff like that on his videos and everything. You
Yeah.
sure make a crappy Christian.
Judge not yet, lest ye be judged.
He's so bad he can't even make other Christians look bad. He makes them look good.
You look at the splinter in someone else's eye when you have a log in your own. I think that's another.
Dang, Conan.
He did not, but that is funny, Chris. See, now I could simplify this map right now. It's just all occupied territory. That's all you need to know. Whoa, holy crap, who's that ugly broad?
Yeah. Do that.
You would definitely make an ugly broad.
Yeah, I would. There is no doubt about it. Anyone can pass the test. This is true.
Well, if it's a caution coded, why aren't you heeding it? Isn't the Bible your like book on how to live life?
Cap, how are you? Hope you're feeling better. Get coded. You have no understanding. You prove it every day.
Yeah.
I'd put my 12 years of Bible study up against his anytime. Except it would be a waste. It would be a waste of time.
I know Angel and I have similar upbringing, so
yeah,
definitely have it drilled in our brains.
Mm-hmm.
All I have is fables. Your fables are based on my fables, dummy.
Yeah, no kidding. Like the Old Testament. Come on, buddy. Wow, you got to do better than that.
Without the Jewish Bible, the Christian faith doesn't exist. You have to have it.
Without,
I would say in the 50s, Chris, but that's just me.
Without Jews existing, there would be no Christians. So
this is hilarious. I like unicorns. I do too. I like unicorns, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet Nessie. He'll ask me for my tree fitting.
All the cryptids.
Jesus rode
Yeah.
that T-Rex.
Heck yeah.
Oh, I know the meaning of the verse.
I just want to meet
But
the dragon from Belle and the Dragon.
oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I
Or
understand the
Smog.
verse coded, but in order to play with you, I have to dumb myself down.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Ron
mean,
Hubbard. Yeah, there's a winner.
start your own navy. Go looking for treasure and hang out with the Lester Crowley and conduct sex magic to try to bring about the beast.
And make
start
children your
own-
slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make people disappear
Yeah.
in the navy.
I shouldn't say
seven seas.
I shouldn't say much being my husband retired from the Navy, but as someone who attempted the Marine Corps, I can't help it.
Sorry, but Marines are just Department of the Navy infantry.
Yeah, but we're the best part. Nyeh, nyeh.
I can agree with that.
Well, he likes to
What?
come up behind me and ask me what that flap on the Navy guy's trousers are, and I just look at him coldly because he goes, "It's the tray table for Marine."
Oh.
Uh,
And I remember that from boot camp, so
my
I just
first husband retired from Philippines. Need man. What's up, Rebecca?
I didn't know you could retire from a country.
my dad was Air Force, and I got to agree with that statement. He and his brother both got drafted together, so they decided they were gonna. I love my dad for this. They went in the Air Force because they figured they would stay the farthest away from the front line if they went in the Air Force. So then they took office machine repair. Well, during all the testing, they found out that my uncle was really good with patterns and stuff like that. So while my dad, who wasn't, was stuck back in the office pool in Japan, my uncle got shipped up to the front line in Korea because they made him a code breaker.
Oh.
Oh.
Oof, it gets cold up in the mountains too. Let's see. The men's department.
Tom Donovan, hello. Haven't seen you for a minute.
What's up, 81? I always told Air Force guys that if I was ever Secretary of Defense, I would just move to make them part of the Army again. Make it the Army Air Corps. They never liked that.
Tom, did you hear that? Oh darn, what was her name? Helga and Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa died yesterday, so
What?
you might get your TV back after all. Yeah, Helga posted it on Facebook.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Rip Lisa.
And I think Joey posted it in Discord.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw somebody put it in Discord.
Yeah, thank you, Lupe. Lisa Boswell. Joey got you, Lupe. He brought it over here. Or well, to Hill Pirate.
She left the TV to Helga to make sure he's not going to get it back.
Yeah, UTI and went septic. God,
Oh, really?
oh, to go out in that kind of pain. That ugh.
Yeah.
Good.
I like
grief.
those two.
They're
Yeah,
fun.
they were hilarious.
Even the squid was entertained by him, and things like that don't agree with his sensitivities. But he's loosening up. He's been around me.
Coded.
Awesome.
Oximus Dominus. What's up, Lupe? There you go. I was trying to come up with something.
Donna eis requiem.
Or
Yep, Burns, exactly.
what was it? The bread of bread is bread. Did Coded run away? Is his feelings hurt?
Eh.
No, he's still here. He's still lurking. He's just probably smoking.
Probably.
Smoke it in the coded room.
Cleaning the crap out of the screen of his crack pipe.
I prefer Olive Bernsey. My second wife was Sicilian of the Galliano variety. And Bernsey will know what that means, as well as some others.
It's a good liquor.
It's violent inclinations. My dad went to Vietnam 3 times voluntarily. My first instructor pilot when I was in the Army was a Vietnam vet, Air Force guy. He got 3 planes shot out from under him.
Bam.
And he just kept going
Oh.
back. He ended up flying a B-52.
I had a cousin that was in the Army, and he was, I don't remember the group he was in, but they were exposed to a lot of Agent Orange,
Yeah.
napalm, all sorts of stuff. He ended up with cancer in his spine and everything. And it was just eating him away.
Yeah.
And one day he checked himself into the VA hospital, told me he was suicidal. And within the week he hung himself.
Oh.
He didn't want his wife and son to find him.
The cancer and stuff.
Yeah, he was hurting.
Yeah.
That's
And then all this time, because they kept turning him down. Oh, there's no proof that Agent Orange exposure does this. There's no
Yeah.
connection.
Oh,
the
he
whole
was
9
early
yards. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was early on.
This is one of our neighbors, good family friend, was in Vietnam and lived with shrapnel in his leg, still did bicycle marathons and everything. And then the Agent Orange caused pancreatic cancer, and he passed away from that.
No, didn't, Chris. I mean,
Saying yeah is just like agreeing when somebody's talking. It's called
it's
active listening.
Yeah, active listening and empathetic ear. But whatever.
My grandma had a friend who was a Tuskegee Airman. And
that's cool. I met one of the dudes one time.
Yeah, he was a really interesting guy to talk to. He came and talked at my high school and stuff.
Burns, what games?
Yeah, which
Couple of gamers here.
Mm-hmm.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Pity party.
The only pity around here is for you, bud.
he killed the mayor's neighbor. I mean, the mayor's brother. Crazy. He escaped. Yeah. Which games do y'all play, Bernsey? Oh, okay. The game of all games for you.
Uh-huh.
Ah, well, career military guy. So
I play World of Warcraft, but now I've gotten into the older versions of it because they revamped them so you could play them on the Windows 10 and 11 instead of just only the DOS platform.
Oh yeah.
And
I
it's been interesting. It's like Minecraft Warcraft.
I stopped playing games at Mario, and then Civilization 3 was the last computer game I played.
Well, I'm waiting for you to start up some drone lessons so I can come on down and get it from a pro.
No, I've considered it. I've considered opening.
We could stream
Don't you
like
rank?
a flight simulator game or something.
Oh, I hope to get that
Well,
someday, but I absolutely have to get the full
well, yeah, I
version.
had a lot of rank on GS. I don't know what that had to do with gaming though.
Gaming can become a problem if you're sitting there all day playing games, but if you're
Yeah,
still
like
leading a life.
16 hours.
Yeah. And I said I stopped playing games at Civilization 3. Do you know how long ago that was? Cody?
It was a long time ago.
It's been a minute.
I was at basic non-commissioned officers course, so that was
I was still in high school.
Not at the level I want to do it, Coded. Not at the level I want to do it.
I graduated in 04, so.
Oh. Is it Rebecca?
I graduated a little bit earlier than you
I was
by 20
89.
years.
I'm going to be 39 in a few days, so.
Holy shit. You're on the same. You're a couple of years older than my son.
Rounding the corner.
I'm old enough to be your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Linda. And hey, Hazel, who's a good girl?
That's where it's at, buddy. Mm-hmm. More cushion for the pushing.
You mustered out of the Marine Corps in 76. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Were
Hater,
you drafted or were you a volunteer?
Yeah, he was. 76, yes.
I had a CW5 buddy. He was
Thanks for
he
coming,
was
Chris.
drafted. Thanks. And when I retired, he was still stop lost and very, very bitter.
I discharged 10 years later, Hater.
Sorry.
The old lady makes a rhyme.
Oh man. No Greggy in the fact. Hey, we just had a have a good time talking. I mean, it's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. I mean, it sounds like you have a complex about it. You may want to see somebody about that. Spinal Tap, awesome.
Hater, I had to medical out of boot camp, but I was going to be 35-21 had I made it. I was going to turn wrenches.
Oh, okay.
Auto technician. You know,
Not only did I physically see a CW5, we hung out all the dang time, and he got me out of so much shit.
Couldn't get you out of going to Djibouti, though.
He went with me.
Oh, okay.
He just flew me there. It's a nice thing.
Kiddo,
Pilots.
You were in there when they had the 4th Battalion, if I remember correctly, if you went to Parris Island. And I was in before they had a battalion. It was just
I was teaching at Fort Huachuca in 98. Hey, I went to PLDC at Fort Bliss, Freedom Fighter.
Hey, Freedom Fighter, you might be able to help code it out because I think his rocket, his launch rocket is broken. He's jealous of Greg.
Is that why he only has one child?
Oh, that happened for real?
Oh.
Yeah, I get that, Vern. You've been around it so much. You've had enough.
Woodrow, I went to Fort Bliss, not Biggs. El Paso, just across the bridge.
Oh, did they? Because when I was in 82, they didn't even have a 4th Battalion. We were just a recruit battalion.
Fort Huachuca.
I'm not far from there.
I loved Fort Huachuca.
I'm closer to MCAS, though. The Marine Corps Air Station in Yuma.
Launch 1. Yes, Launch 1. I taught there, too.
Wasn't that Army or Air Force at the time? Because I think
I was teaching Marines.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I know the Marines didn't always have it.
25 years and 3 PBIs. I can't remember jack. It was always funny watching the first sergeants having to pick up trash along with us when they were in first sergeant school.
Are you saying that you went in a young man and came out a fossil? Because you're still young. You're still young.
It ain't the age.
Oh, okay. When I went in my best friend and I were gonna buddy enlist, but her mom wouldn't let her, so she went in the Army. And the Army at that time was integrated training, but we weren't. And I was hoping that they had training in San Diego, but I had to go to Parris Island.
I was
And then I
on when I was at Huachuca Burns, I was Rum. I lived. Me and my first wife lived there until we went to Fort Polk for 5 years. And I was never home.
I live close to Fort Snelling. Anybody's ever been there?
Fort Smelly?
Fort Snelling. It's more just historic now. It's like touring and stuff.
It's a museum piece now.
Yeah. They still have active duty Marines there and stuff, but
let me see.
Yeah, it's my one regret that I didn't get a finished basic training. One thing I was lucky about though is the summer I was there, it was so hot that they had endless Black Flag days. So we ended up doing a few things in our second week that they didn't have. Normally we wouldn't have done till phase 2 or 3. So one day we got to break down the M16 early in the second week, and that's something I wouldn't have touched till towards like the end of the 3rd or 4th week.
Were y'all still using?
You were a Lance Corporal. I went in a private and came out a PFC, proud fucking civilian.
We all come out that.
And then to even buck the rules even further, because I still wasn't 18 yet. My parents signed for me to go in. Instead of flying back to Seattle, I jumped on the Greyhound bus, and it was an adventure for 4.5 days.
Whoa.
Yes, Coded, it is Wranglerish in a bit, except he actually tried twice. I didn't get stung by a bee.
And she's been upfront about it.
Also, too, I got an honorable discharge. Both times that he was both times that he was discharged were general, not honorable.
I thought it was uncharacterized.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, no, not Wranglerish. When you admit it, there's nothing you can do.
Oh.
Corporal was the worst rank.
Well, Joey, that's not true, because he was actually in a lot longer than I was. He just never made it out of basic. What was it in total? Like 11 weeks for him or something like that. I was in for 3 of my 9. At that time, women only had 9 weeks of basic training. I think it's 13 now.
I don't know, because when did he try to go in? Because basic was only 8 weeks when.
Which time?
The first time he went in.
Yeah, Kittle, I actually tried to find out if you were on Discord, because when I found out my status with the Department of Defense, I kind of freaked out. So I talked to Ned and Top and Jimbo even, because I am considered a veteran. And I thought that was no way in hell I did not get my EGAs, not possible. And it was really weird. Fake valor. No, dear. Mm-mm. Because I don't consider myself a veteran, even though the Department of Defense does.
And valor. I mean, really. You don't tell us what to do. That's the funny thing. Coded.
Hey, Coded, were you ever in
You
the
ain't
military?
nobody's daddy.
Did you ever enlist, Coded?
He'll probably say he did, just like he says he has a degree now. Fake parking lot valor.
Nice.
I love it.
Now, if you talk to my husband, he's all proud of that. But I don't consider it. And besides, I don't have to fake stolen valor or do anything to try and get those bennies, because I married a retired naval guy. I have them anyway. I don't need to do it.
Well, and you didn't claim that you were, that you have
I
Purple Hearts and everything,
No.
I
Yeah.
never.
I mean,
I was under the impression at one time, Coded, yes, that you had to complete 180 days, but we found out different and corrected the record.
yeah, as
But
a matter of
Robert,
fact, I really started looking into it when you guys were talking about that 180 days, because I thought the same.
yeah,
And it was my brother who told me, no, I don't think it's that. And then Freedom Fighter,
I need.
because they couldn't find my DD 214s. They were lost in some dusty box in a Quonset hut somewhere. And Freedom Fighter said, why don't you look on BA and see if you're in there? And by damn, I was. And they had my DD 214s. Marine Corps couldn't find them, but the VA had them. And my DD 214 is so bad, and half of it's unreadable, that they actually send a letter with it, a certified letter with it, stating my service on that letter. The one that regular tried to fake. I got the real one.
I mean, if she just said she was a dependent.
Yep,
So
I am a dependent. But I didn't marry him so that I could get those bennies, son. I so sad to inform you that we met in high school. Then life happened and we got back together. And we made it official.
Bernsey, my kids got benefits until they were done with college.
Yeah, I was too, kiddo. Believe me. Because when Freedom Fire first told me to do it, I didn't do it because I didn't believe him.
We mock others for buying.
I'm not bragging about anything, Coded. I'm not bragging about anything. I told you, as I said earlier, it's my one regret in life that I did not finish basic and get my EGAs. No, Coded. I'm older than my husband. Keep trying, though, buddy. Keep trying.
Why do you defend Todd? Why don't y'all dock? Why don't y'all do a show together?
Yeah, right,
Be
Joey. Exactly.
Or within what, 2 or 3 years on either side that you've known?
You know, it's
Wow,
about
really,
time that they changed that. I think 24 months is a stretch if you see if you're sent to a combat zone or something like that and leave it before the 24 months. But I'm glad that they changed it, because I, like I said, even in the Marine Corps, Kittle can definitely back me up on this. They drill into your head, you are not a Marine if they don't hand you that insignia at the end of your training. And
Always
if
learn,
I'm not a
never
Marine, that means I'm not a veteran. Reading too, Kittle.
Coded. I don't criticize others for what she's saying. So try again. But you're going to have to try later because we're headed out. We're going to have a show later tonight. Just not sure when. Uh, so we will. Thanks for hanging out with me. 22 of y'all. Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Coded on your way out, hit the like, dislike button, whichever you choose. Thanks for the engagement. It was very,
Hey, Misty Eyed Girl.
very beneficial to my algorithm. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese. Oh man.
I've got some smoked Gouda right here.
I didn't get caught in anything, Coded. It's just time for me to stop. I went 17 minutes longer than I planned to. So I'll see y'all tonight. Hey, Coded, why don't you come over to the Hill Pirate? Or are you scared?
Thank you, Rebecca.
All right. I will talk to y'all later.
Toodles.
Bye.